it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. I have another Disney video for you guys, and I did a video like this a while back, and I said I wanted it to be a series on my channel. If you guys want to play along with me and have this be part of a series on my channel, then to keep the questions coming. It is a Disney Would You Rather. I got this idea from a podcast that I listened to called Unlocking the Magic, and they talk about Disney all the time, and they actually were the ones that I first heard about this from. So I'm totally stealing their idea, but I'm giving them credit, so I guess that's okay. But basically, it's all of these different Disney scenarios, some that will probably never happen, some that definitely could happen. So I think it's really fun to talk about, and it also is really helpful if you're planning a Disney vacation, you want to kind of hear my perspective of things, what I would rather do, then this is the video for you. So these are your all's questions. These are things that you all sent to me of questions you'd like me to answer. So I'm still continuing on with that list from before. If you have a new Disney Would You Rather question you would like me to answer in a future video, then make sure you leave it in the comments of this video. So the first Disney Would You Rather question that I got was, would you rather only be able to ride rides or watch shows for your entire trip? That's easy. I would much rather ride rides than watch shows. There's only a couple shows that I would actually miss seeing. One of them is the Frozen Ever After show at Hollywood Studios. I do like the Lion King show at Animal Kingdom, but I wouldn't be too torn up if I didn't see it. Those are really the only two shows that I like and typically watch on a regular basis. So I would much rather give those up and be able to ride rides than see any of the shows. The next question is, would you rather go on a Disney trip or a Disney cruise? I personally would rather be at Disney World than on a Disney cruise. I've never been on a Disney cruise, so it's kind of hard to say, but just from what I've seen and my understanding overall, you're on a cruise ship, you're not at Disney World. And Disney World to me is my home. So even though I'm sure Disney cruises are amazing, and I'm not saying I wouldn't ever go on one, I still would rather be at Disney World, at my home resort, in my usual surroundings, doing what I usually do, and kind of, you know, keeping up that annual tradition that I've had ever since I was a kid, pretty much. If I did a Disney cruise, though, it would definitely have to be a land and sea cruise, because that way you get the best of both worlds. You're getting time on your Disney cruise ship where you're out in the ocean, which would be amazing. But then you're also getting time at Disney World. So I feel like if I were to do a cruise, that would be the way that I would do it. Okay, the next Disney Would You Rather is, would you rather go to Disney 4 days once per year or 10 days every other year? That's easy, 4 days once a year. Even though 4 days is not that long, I feel like I would much rather be able to go to Disney every year than have to wait every other year. That like literally hurts me. It is painful to think about. And this is such a spoiled thing to say, and I realize that, but it really hurts me. I literally get homesick for Disney. So to think about not being able to go every year would be really hard for me. And so even though I would only be able to go 4 days, you know, once a year, that's way better than having to wait every other year just to go 10 days. So definitely 4 days once a year. Would you rather have $500 to spend at Disney Springs or have a free day at your least favorite park? I would say a free day at my least favorite park. That's a hard one. I only say that because I'm not a big shopper when I'm at Disney. I know a lot of people have asked me in the past to share like souvenir hauls. I really don't buy anything at Disney. I don't know why. I'm just not, that's not what my brain is thinking about. I don't go down there to shop. I go down there to ride things and eat at my favorite restaurants and kind of be in the surroundings. I really don't like to shop when I'm down there. And even when I do, I typically don't see that much that I would just love to have. And so having $500 to spend at Disney Springs really doesn't appeal to me all that much. And as far as my least favorite park, I would say Epcot's my least favorite, but it's still an amazing park, and I would much rather have a free day there than $500 to spend at Disney Springs. I don't know, does that make me crazy? You guys let me know. Would you rather have 500 bucks to spend at Disney Springs or a free day at your least favorite park? Let me know in the comments. Okay, the next one is, would you rather go to Disney World at Christmas for shorter time or spring for longer? That kind of depends. Is this my only trip to Disney at Christmas like ever? Like, is it the only time I'm ever going to be able to go? Because my first answer would be for longer in the spring, because that's when we usually go anyway. We always go in May. We have been at Christmas. It's amazing at Christmas. But for me, and I was telling my mom this the other day, I was like, for me, going in Halloween time or fall time or Christmas time is really a second trip kind of a thing. It's not my only trip for the year, if that makes sense. Because I like to go to Disney when it's not themed for anything. Like with the Flower and Garden Festival doesn't count. I mean, yeah, there's flowers and stuff, but it's not like holiday decorations. When you go in the fall for Halloween or around Thanksgiving or Christmas, you know, you're gonna have fall decorations or Christmas decorations, which are amazing and incredible, and I love them. But I don't want my only trip to Disney to be when it's decorated for a holiday, if that makes sense. I know that's weird. If it's my only time going at Christmas time, the only time I could ever go at Christmas, then I would say yes, one time I would go at Christmas for a shorter amount of time. But as a general rule, I would much rather go, and I do go to Disney every year in May, which is the springtime, for longer. And then if we take a second trip, it's usually in the fall or at Christmas. And it is for shorter usually because we can't afford to go twice and stay that long. So that's kind of my answer to that. There's kind of two answers in one. But normally, yes, I would always choose spring over fall or winter. Two more because I'm losing my voice. Would you rather spend one night in Cinderella Castle or 10 nights in a deluxe resort? Again, that kind of depends. This is a one-time thing and I never could do it again because I would like to stay at Cinderella Castle only because of the nostalgia of it and the, you know, the novelty of it. But as a rule, I have a resort that's my favorite. It's Riverside. It's not a deluxe resort, it's a moderate. So if I was gonna say a deluxe resort and I got to pick which one it was, then I would definitely pick the 10 nights at a deluxe resort. And I think I would pick Animal Kingdom Lodge probably is my top pick because I think that it would be amazing to be able to look out on your balcony every morning and see giraffes out there outside your window. I think that'd be amazing and I would do that. Okay, and my last Disney would you rather is, if you work at Disney World, would you rather be a regular cast member or be able to work as a character or princess? There's probably lots of neat jobs that are on Disney property that are regular cast members, but I think even though it would be hard to be a character, a costume character, I think that'd be a hard job because you're constantly having to be on, you're constantly having to stay in character if you are a face character. If you're like a costumed character, like Pooh Bear or somebody, and you're not talking, that will be hot and exhausting as well. But I do think that would be really fun and in a way freeing to be able to be somebody else for however much, you know, however long your shift is. So I don't think it's necessarily an easy job to be a character, but I do think it'd be really fun. There would be a lot of ways that you could kind of let your guard down and be somebody else for a while, which might be freeing. I don't know, it seems like it would be. If you guys have ever been a costume character or a face character, basically meaning you're not in a costume with your head's covered up, let me know because I kind of want your input. And that's just my perspective of, you know, never having been either one, a regular cast member or a costume character. That's just my kind of initial thoughts. It would be really fun to learn these different characters and their mannerisms and the time period they're from, and like being able to be somebody. I mean, you're an actor essentially is what you are. So I think that would be really fun, and especially if you were a character in costume where your whole face was covered. Yeah, you have to stick within the parameters of that character's personality, but I think you could let loose and be a little bit more of your true self when you are not having to be yourself, if that makes sense. And for me, somebody who's actually shy, I know that might be hard to believe, because people say, well, how can you be shy and be on YouTube? Because it's a whole different thing. It is literally like an out-of-body experience for me. I sit here and I talk to you guys and I make these videos, but I'm editing them and I'm posting them after the fact. So it's like I'm not really there, if that makes sense. So that is totally different than standing in front of a room of people and doing this. Like, I couldn't do that. So it is a very different experience. And so for me, someone who is shy, but I'm also a goofball and I would love to just let loose sometimes and just be like crazy like myself. And I feel like with certain characters, you could probably do that. So for that reason, I would choose a character, whether costumed or a face character. I think I'd rather be a costumed character than a face character because at least I wouldn't have to talk. And I could kind of just, you know, pantomime out what I wanted to relay to somebody. But I think that would be really fun and definitely out of my normal kind of in the box comfort zone, if that makes sense. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was kind of a shorter one because I've already filmed a few videos today. Like I said, I am losing my voice. So I have to kind of talk really loud to get to the camera so it can hear me, and it gets tiring after a while. So this was a little bit of a shorter would you rather, but if you have other Disney would you rather questions that you would like for me to answer in a future video, make sure that you leave them in the comments. They can be completely made up, like something that's probably never going to happen, like the Cinderella Castle question. Or it can be a legitimate Disney vacation planning question, like, you know, would you rather have the quick service dining plan or the regular dining plan? Or would you rather have fast passes for Toy Story Mania or Slinky Dog Dash? Like, anything you want me to answer that's a Disney would you rather question and you want me to answer it in a future video, definitely leave it in the comments and feel free to play along. If you guys want to answer these questions with me, feel free to answer them and put them in the comments. I will read over them. I don't always have time to respond to every one of them, but at least I will heart your comments so that you know that I saw it. So make sure that you leave any of those comments in the comments below. My Disney playlist, as always, is in the description box. Every Disney video I've ever made is in that playlist, so check that out. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and click that bell so you'll be notified every single week when I upload new videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.